Evening, I was going to say, because it feels so dark here right now. It is cold and dreary winter weather, but welcome back to Tuesday Tales after the holiday break. This is a solo episode today, and I've got a few more episodes that are going to kind of show up in the format that I've been running with for the last year, and then you're going to see some changes, including pre-recorded segments and posting to podcast platforms like Apple and Spotify so that you can tune into them via audio or video when you want to, rather than trying to catch them live. So I started the podcast initially so that I could illustrate storytelling for my audience and show the value of storytelling to your business. It started out with me creating stories from news items or things that had happened in my life, and then I would build out a story that 3 different businesses could use to illustrate a point for that particular business, just to show the ease that you can use stories in your business. And I also went live at that time because algorithms were showing, of course, that video content was helpful for your online profile. So I combined those things together for one whole year. And then I decided in year 2 to bring guests on to share their stories with the world. But in that, continue to help my guests understand further the power of storytelling by creating a story with that guest. And I've had some guests that were absolutely delighted with the stories I created for them, kind of opened up their eyes. And I've had other people on as guests who've already had a good grasp of storytelling and didn't really need a lot of help in that area. And so as I've kind of watched this process over the last few years, I've realized there's yet another element that I could add to help people with business storytelling. So I just want to say first, storytelling has a lot of different places that can be used in your business. You can use it, of course, as I just mentioned, on social media. You can use it in your introduction to give you a little bit of a unique story as to how you do your business. You can use it to close sales. You can use it in newsletters. And of course, you can use it on speaking events and all sorts of things like that as well. So this whole idea of creating content for social media, that's one of the best places, I think, other than obvious places like telling stories from stage or telling stories in an expert book that you've written to share your expertise, both of which I can help you with, by the way. But one of the best places I think you can use story on a regular basis is introducing yourself at networking events and posting on social media. And what I found is that when you're not confident in your message, people aren't confident in you. I went through that myself for many years when I first started my first direct sales marketing business many years ago. And then even when I came into this world of writing and coaching, communication and storytelling, I felt like I didn't have, a college degree or university degree. I didn't have a lot of experience under my belt. And it takes time to build that confidence. But what I'm going to offer now through the podcast is I'm going to offer value to those who need help in that specific area, where I'm offering a paid package so that you will receive from me, as a result of your appearance on my podcast, 2 or 3 video clips directly from the podcast segment and 20 additional days of content posting that will include reusable templates with your colors, your logo, all of those things on it. So the idea is that you're going to be able to repeatedly use those templates, and you're going to get the idea of how to put your own stories into those by being on the podcast with me. So the other idea behind that is that showing you how you can use story to create content from any podcast appearance you have. If you do workshops, anything that is recorded should actually be an easy place for you to create content for you to use on social media. You make lots of key points that you want to share with your ideal client. And there are tidbits of things that you can take from that all the time. So I'm going to be using more of it on social media from my own podcast myself. And all of this has become available to me because of a partnership and the inclusion of AI to disseminate this material for me. So now I want to address AI with this caveat. I don't trust AI fully, and neither should you. As a writer, I love the idea of free flowing content and originality, but AI is a tool. And it's to me like having an intern or an assistant. They can do a certain amount of work for you, but you always need to check their work. So, some of the other services that my business offers going forward is now going to be able to help you create your confident power story so that when you feed that information into AI, whatever that system is that you're using, you have a very strong personality. You have a very strong message. You know your story and your value. And that's going to really help AI produce the content that is more representative of you. But the second thing is AI editing. So if you're someone who does workshops or delivers speeches, presentations on a regular basis, and you want to use AI to capture that and create content for you, it's very wise to have an editor to look at the material through the lens of your business, your personality, your messaging for clarity, honesty, and authenticity. So my podcast is going to offer that on a small scale, and a partnership I have with a larger agency can provide this service for you on a regular basis. So if you are a presenter, if you show up on a regular basis with workshops, seminars, even live LinkedIn presentations, you can show up on the stage in your full genius, and you can leave the advertising, the email follow-up systems, the presentation itself, setting that up, the recording, the running of the event, and the capture of all of that material to produce your social media and advertising content for your next event, all can be done for you in one package. So if you are curious on the smaller scale to learn more about how you can get social media content for your business from my podcast, please reach out. I'll be happy to send you the promotional package. And if you're already considering yourself as an expert in story that could help my audience, I would love to have you on as a guest as well. I will still be having a number of unpaid guests on the show and some solo episodes like what I'm doing today. So this is my third iteration of the podcast in my third year. Who knows what's going to happen in year 4? But this is where I'm headed this year, and I hope that you will enjoy the ride with me. I'll be posting links once I get some recordings up every Tuesday to keep in theme with the Tuesday Tales name of the podcast. What I'm going to do is provide a link on social media for you to access the video or the audio for your listening. Until then, keep telling stories. Hope to see you soon.